These are my Flex tools. And since their inception or release here in North America a few years back, I've been implementing them into my workflow. They have this awesome stack pack system of organization, but I always seem to find the most frequently used tools in this crate. They just seem to remain in there. One of the questions that I get most frequently though is, Vince, what are your favorite Flex tools? And in this video, we're gonna share with you my top 5 favorite tools from Flex. Right after this message from our sponsor, BCG Construction. Want to help out with the channel? Then head on over to the merch store. You get hats, hoodies, t-shirts. Link will be in the description below. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Vince. If it's your first time here, welcome to you especially. Here's the deal. There are so many tools available, so many noteworthy pieces in the Flex lineup. This was a hard list to come up with a top 5, but I will tell you, it is going to be clear and concise. We give you all the reasons why these are our top 5, and we're giving you better information. Here's the deal. We have tons and tons and tons, hundreds, thousands of hours on all of these tools on site. And frankly, after years and years of putting them in slowly to my daily workflow, they're now my go-to. Let's start out with number 5. This is Flex's top of the line reciprocating saw. Now, the funny part about that is that Flex only has one reciprocating saw. So their only recip saw is the top of the line. And why is that? Well, number 1, it has an 1.25 inch blade stroke. It has an adjustable shoe that allows you to get more out of your blade. Orbital action that helps to exaggerate cuts through wood. It has all of the power that you would need from a recip saw, but here's the real reason that this has become my daily driver when it comes to recip saws. Number 1, it has all that functionality in a very compact form factor. When you're using this recip saw, and all you young guys, as I move forward through the statement, are going, that's not a reason. You get a couple miles on you and you're gonna start to rethink things. Here's the deal. This is virtually vibration free. That is something that is nearly impossible, or tons of engineering hours take to make happen. You can see in this video over here, where we put this up against one of the most prominent players in the space. And when it comes to vibration, nobody stands a chance. And that means in an 8-hour workday, if we're doing large demos and I'm using this from beginning to end of the day in some capacity, I am not going to have the fatigue in my hands and my forearms and my wrists. There have been projects that we've been on where I've cut tons and tons of metal with other competing brands. My hands become so fatigued for holding that trigger and making these extensive cuts, I can't even close my hand anymore. Not with this tool. It is virtually vibration free. It is a pleasure to actually use. And that's why it's number 5. The reality is, I would have made it higher on the list, but this is one of their oldest tools, and there have been so many new releases that it fell to the bottom only for that reason. The list gets more exciting as we move on. Being that this Jigsaw is on the top of my crate here, this is getting an honorable mention. Maybe I should have just done a top 10, but this barrel grip Jigsaw from Flex, it is just terrific. It's got multiple modes to get the dust out of your cut line. It has a great LED light, and it's got that barrel grip configuration that I really like for more control. Plunge cuts. Of course, you're going to want to pair it with the correct blade. That's going to make all the magic happen down at the workpiece, but this thing is just a monster. Let's move on to number 4. Oh yeah, number 5 so good, I have another one. But here's number 4. This is Flex's 7.25 rear handle worm drive style circular saw. This has become one of my favorite circular saws when there's limited power on the job site and I need comparable power and torque to a skill saw, actual worm drive circular saw. It has that awesome right line of sight so I can see my workpiece. Once again, it has an awesome LED light to illuminate what I'm cutting. It has bevel stops at 22.5, 45, and 56 degrees. The deeperness adjustment is literally buttery smooth. So you can set your blade depth appropriately for the materials you're cutting. It's got a rafter hook. It has onboard tool storage. It's magnesium, so it's much lighter than you would expect it to be. This thing just excites me in all the right ways. But my favorite part about this tool is the dust collection port. Picks up a tremendous amount of that particulate that would be airborne. What you could do is, inside settings, attach this to a vacuum and you eliminate all of that airborne sawdust. They literally thought of almost everything. Let's move on to number 3 on my list. It's Flex's 12-inch double bevel compound motor saw. This saw has reintroduced functionality that hasn't been available in cordless tools in a long time. See, here's the deal. You're gonna get all of the functions of a normal double bevel slider. All the capability, if you cut your crown flat, if you cut your crown nested, if you're cutting molding, you're cutting pressure treated, you're cutting just dimensional lumber. You can cut almost anything with this saw, right? You can cut PVC, you can cut non-ferrous metals. You can probably even cut ferrous metals depending on what blade you have on this thing. There are really a couple of noteworthy pieces though that make it to this top 5 list. It's the ease of adjustment on the lock for bevel. Makes this a less daunting task than previous. Once again, Flex has focused on people that are doing remodels or carpentry in occupied spaces. We have this little boot here at the rear. It is so close, so tight, that it virtually eliminates airborne particulate when you have a vacuum attached to this saw. Now, when I say virtually, comparing it to other saws in the marketplace, you still could get some airborne particulate. Whether the reduction is, 80%, it's still a huge savings because that means at the end of the job, there's less cleanup. And that cleanup still counts as man hours on the job. It's another reason I love it. But one of the things that I love most about this saw and why, when we're on the job, this is the saw that goes with us, is because it has the ability to be plugged in with Flex's 24-volt wall adapter. That means that I have all of the convenience of cordless, but if it's going to be in a cut station for hours on end on a job, now I could just plug it in. And that means less purchases of batteries over time. Batteries aren't cheap, especially batteries that are capable of propelling this massive saw blade. So that means that Flex isn't just looking out for the tradesperson that needs all the functionality of a 12-inch double bevel compound sliding motor saw. They're also looking out for the tradesperson's bottom line. And that means that you, at the end of the job, are going to be able to put more money in your pocket. Remember, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. Let's move on to number 2 on my list. Flex's 10-inch cordless table saw. Yes, you heard it correct. Generally, compact job site table saws lately have been coming in the 8.25-inch realm, and Flex has one of those available as well. But this is a 10-inch model that runs cordlessly, has a bigger table overall, has all the functionality that you're used to and accustomed to, things that I wouldn't live without. For instance, rack and pinion fence adjustment. Beautiful. We're able to bevel our blade, which is very common. They even put an LED on the fence to help illuminate the work surface. This also has an auto stop feature to help extend battery runtime. But to be completely blunt about it, one of my favorite reasons to have this table saw on the job site isn't just the added features and capacity. It's the ability to run it cordless, which gives convenience, but also to use that same adapter that's available for the miter saw in this table saw. A tremendous amount of battery power is required to make long-running rips with a table saw. And it also takes a tremendous amount of amperage. That wall adapter makes sure that you have both of those in abundance. You're not going to run short on power. You're going to need all the juices for making those long-running rips in hardwoods. And frankly, the corded and cordless option isn't available, I don't think, in any other product line. It's exclusive to Flex. As a second honorable mention on this list, because I know what all you would say, and I would probably say the same thing. This isn't really a tool. It is an accessory. This is how that magic happens. If you wanted to plug in that miter saw or this table saw, you would use this wall adapter. Now, Flex only sanctions this on the use of the table and miter saw, but in this video, we go off the rails and show you each and every tool that this will power. And spoiler alert, it will run some, but not others. Let's move on to number 1 on our list. When I say our list, it's pretty much my list. And here it is. It's Flex 23 gauge pin nailer. And I love this one so much because it has all of the power to run pin sizes that are more commonly found only capable in pneumatic pin nailers. The other thing is, once again, it's got a great light system. You're able to easily replenish that magazine. It's super compact, especially when you pair it with Flex's new 2 amp hour stacked lithium battery. This thing's like a match made in heaven for a finish carpenter. The other thing is that if you're even a homeowner or DIYer, what you don't realize is that using better tools will get you a better finished product because you're able to more easily join carpentry pieces together with a pin nailer, prepare it to be put in place for final assembly and final attachment. Another great feature about this pin nailer is that you have protected depth adjustment. So you don't have to worry about having that depth adjustment go askew by rubbing it by accident or brushing it up against something. It's protected under this lever. I don't know how important some of you might think that is, but when you're working with trim pieces, sometimes they're hundreds of dollars. Pre-finished cherry, pre-finished maple, hundreds of dollars they cost per piece. If your penetration goes out of adjustment, you might have a big problem. And if you like not having big problems, then smash the like button. It's free for you to do. Doesn't cost you a dime, plus you'll get 7 years of good luck. Let us know down below, what do you think of my top 5 Flex tools that are worth your money? Do you agree? If so, go down in the comment section, simply type agree. If you disagree, go down to the comment section and write disagree. But then put your top 5 Flex tools down there. Maybe I'll even make a video going over your comment and list. With that, I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thanks a lot, everybody. I hope to see you all on the next one.